Hey everybody, it's Kevin Godfrey. I am running a couple of tests on the homepage today, just trying to get some of these final bugs kicked off so we can get to the last beta launch and then the actual launch. So, because we're having a little bit of a snow day, I spent a couple hours working on this, but I also have been getting a lot of questions, so I wanted to put together this somewhat quick video. It might get a little in depth as we go further along, but on the overall design of the site, the list to sale feature, and sort of the more important things that a lot of people are asking about, I think essentially the design and the list to sale are the two things that people really want to know about. They want to know about the user functionality and the usability and whatnot. So I'm going to try to go through a very quick list to sale, and then once I post a link on this, if anyone has any questions or comments, post underneath it, and I will address as necessary. And if I need to make another, quick little video to show any more processes, I will. So I've already signed up. I've already logged in. So I'm just going to go straight to a list to sale. What I am probably going to do is do a video to show how to sign up, even though it's extremely easy, how to log in and all that stuff. But let's assume that we're already up to this stage. So I'm going to click to my name. I'm going to click dashboard. This is going to bring me to my seller homepage. Now I'm going to do a very quick overview of this just so you have an idea, and then we're going to go jump in right to list to sale. So we have our different sales here, our individual items, we have messaging, we have different clients we can manage. All of the buyers, anyone that bids and buys, will get auto-populated here. I want you guys to understand that every person that interacts with your sales on here, you capture, that you can then take out of this site and use for your own purposes. So you essentially own every bit of information that is generated here, which is a huge, huge thing, because at any time, if you don't like this website or if you don't like moving forward with it, you just take all of the stuff that you've built up and you move along. There's no one holding a gun to your head to stay on this site, and because you're a founding member, it's free. So there's really no risk, and that's one of the reasons why I've been involved with it from the beginning and why I'm an advocate of it. Anyway, invoices, when obviously the items start to get paid, that kind of gets populated here. You can follow other companies to kind of keep a tab on, what you consider a competition, or just companies that you want to follow and you want to buy. Because even though you're a seller, you can switch over to your buyer dashboard right here, and you can bid like anyone else. General settings, that'll actually bring you to all of this account information stuff. Just general stuff that'll populate your public profile page, your credit cards, so you can do all that stuff. There's actually, what I'm working on right now, going to be another tab right here called reports. That's one of the big delays, is actually my fault, because I've been pushing for a lot more user-friendly reporting. I want to be able to click on a button and know exactly how much money I paid, or how much money I made, how much money my client is due, and there's a whole back end involved, and it has to be, unfortunately, completely custom, just based on my OCD and what I want. They can't do an API, and luckily for me, they are taking my suggestions pretty seriously. So I've probably, just with this one thing, added like 2 weeks of delay. So sorry guys, but it's going to be worth it, because it's going to make everything extremely easy in the future for you guys. Anyway, let's get into list to sale, because that's what I think everyone wants to see. Oh yeah, one of the beta testers bid like a rare magical Eeyore, and I won it, so good for me. List to sale. All right, here we go. Click on the big pink button. Can't miss it. So here we are. It's very easy, very user-friendly. I am going to really try to fly through this. So sale title, let's just do test sale for 3.7. Description, this is a test sale for 3.7. I do a lot of different test sales, so I have to kind of keep it organized like this way. The terms and conditions, these were already auto-populated because I've in the past saved them as my default terms. It's going to be pretty much the same terms and conditions you use for an on-site sale, except added a couple for cash on site, credit online, because you're able to email them invoices. Multiple pickup days available. You're now focusing on pickup days rather than actual sale days. But I think I'll touch on that in a couple of minutes. Clients. So there's actually two client sections. In the description tab, the very first tab, this tab, you can do a general client for the whole sale. This is pretty standard. You know, every estate sale is usually one person. So you can do that. And then you can put your commission rate right here. Let's say that you're 30%, or if you're new in the business, what are you guys charging now? Like 4%. So that's good for you guys. And when the reports are generated at the end, let's say an item's $100, it'll say your client gets 70 and you get 30. And it's just taking away any headache. And since it's automatically being populated from the actual results, it's a very quick printout or a save as a PDF. You give it to your client with a check and you're done. And it calculates every item. So, you know, some people want an inventory from $1, some people want from, you know, items over $25, over $100. This does it for you. And that's one of the things that I was pushing for in one of the delays, because I really want, at the end of the sale, me to hit as few buttons as possible, generate all of the documentation that we need as estate sale companies, figure out exactly what I made, exactly what they made, and move on to the next sale. The only way that a lot of us are going to be able to stay competitive in this market is to increase efficiency and increase speed and take on more sales, which this is going to be able to do, and I'll sort of explain that, I think, a little bit in the future as well. So we are going to accept, for the sake of this test sale, credit card on site, so they can win online and come and swipe the square. They can do cash on site, which is always preferable, or they can do online payments. Now, online payments will tie into your credit cards and accounts online, so when all of the invoices are generated for the people that want to pay online, they can click on your PayPal button or your Square button or your Stripe button or whatever you may have, and they can pay. And that'll send you an invoice paid in full. Once they show up for the sale or once they show up for the pickup, you know they paid, they take their item, and down the road they go. So if you need to charge sales tax, which many of you do, you can put it here. Mine, for example, is 8625. Then I can click yes, but I'm not going to. If you want to be all fancy-pantsy, you can put a video link. We're not going to do that for the sake of this. We're going to save and continue. Address, physical location. I'm just going to use this as a... Come on. I hit the wrong key, so let's just do that. 11787. We're going to verify address. All right, so Google Maps says this is the preferred method, so we're going to click on that. You, of course, can use whatever it is, but I always recommend that. The ship engine, which is what this is really tied to for the shipping quotes, it really only, to be honest, matters about what the zip code is, so don't go too crazy on this. However, it's pretty straightforward and simple. Now, address visibility. This is where it goes a little bit different than what we're used to. So you can show the full address, and it'll show the 34 East Main Street. Or, for additional security, you can only show the city and state. Now, obviously, I know that on net or .org, you can do the security settings where you can show it 48 hours or 2 days or 24 hours or 3 hours or whatever it is. For online sales, you never have to show the city and state, which is like a huge security boost to pitch the clients in order to use this. It prevents, you know, potential looky-loos knocking on the door, people bothering the neighbors, and you're only at that point going to give the actual address to the winning bidders, those people that, to be honest, the only ones you actually want showing up. So for all the test ones I've done, I only do show city and state, and I'll show you where that comes out. Oh, look at this, a little security tip. Most dealers only list the city and state. Let's save and continue here. Auction dates and times. So I am in New York, so I'm going to set mine at the Eastern Daylight. I think they really should clean this up a little bit, to be honest. But from what I've been told, the founding members now currently represent every single state in the country. So everyone can select what they need to do. Now, when would you like your auction to start? I would like mine to start immediately for this sake. So auction duration, 7 days. Now, you can see that this actually already auto-populates from immediately. So it's selected 7, and it auto-populates the 7-day auction, so 314. If I change that to 5 days, it goes to 12. If I change it to, come on you, 1 day, it goes to 8. 7 days are obviously better just because it's the longer it can run passively, the more items should sell for, the more bids. And because you're not actively managing this like an on-site sale, I would personally recommend 7 days unless you have, a hurry up and go sale where there's a closing date or something like that that restricts the amount of time. So that's running for 7 days. The start time set for immediately. Let's say I'm going to end the sale at 5 p.m. Now, lots will start to close at this time, which means lot 1 will close at 5 o'clock. Lot 2 will close at 5:01. Lot 3, 5:03. Except when it comes to the soft close policy. This is currently set as a default to 5 minutes. We can always change it as necessary. But it's set at 5 minutes, and what this means is that if someone bids within the last 5 minutes of an auction, of an item, closing, it'll add 5 minutes. When we get to the pickup and shipping section in a minute here, I'm going to explain that, or I'll just explain it now. You shouldn't schedule any pickups on the last day of the sale just because you don't know how people are going to bid. So let's say 3 people are just bored or stubborn and wait for the last 5 minutes and just keep bidding, and then they wait for the minute left and then they bid, and it just keeps adding the 5 minutes and adding 5 minutes. That item that was supposed to end at, let's say, 5 could end at 5:45. Now that won't affect all of the other lots, so don't think that will happen. But if it's a late lot ending and it takes 2 extra hours, which is completely possible, you don't want to have any of those issues. So my recommendation is the last day of the sale, just let the sale run. Don't schedule any pickups for that day. Wait for the next day or a couple of days. I'll actually give you a visual example on the pickup and shipping of what probably will work best for you. All right, so save and continue. Okay, now because this is going to be obviously a little bit different than an on-site sale, we can offer shipping. And let's say from 11787. I prefer on selected items. On all items, if that's the case, I have no problem shipping a painting. But if there's a 300-pound hutch, I'm not going to get involved in freight for an item that is potentially going to sell for $50 to $100. No one really wants the TV cabinets, and they're very heavy. So I'm not going to ship that item. So I'm only going to select on selected items. And I'll show you where that kind of pops up here. And I'm also going to select pickup available and heavily encourage it. Now, we're fixing currently a little calendar bug, but technically the auction runs from the 7th to the 14th. So we're not going to, it registers a sale date, but it's not being highlighted for some reason, but that's being fixed. So now let's say the sale I posted today is Wednesday. It runs for the 7 days. It gives me these 2 days, as far as I'm concerned, to go back to the house, set up, make sure everything is there, get everything ready for the pickup. Now, instead of having a 2-day auction on the weekend, running the actual sale, I'm going to be using those 2 days as a pickup, which is much more controlled and a lot easier to do. So now, instead of focusing and forcing everybody through these doors on only these 2 days, or let's say it's 3 days, we're actually letting an auction run for 7 full days and then a pickup day for these 2 days. One of the issues, I think, with items not selling or people having a concern about that is that because you're generating a lot of potential buyers on these 7 days, what you can do is take these 2 days, take any items that didn't sell, and stage them like an estate sale. So these buyers that have already spent money on these 7 days are coming in, and you can have technically another little estate sale. You already know that they're actual buyers, and it's a lot easier to convert actual buyers that have already bought something to purchase additional items. So it really increases the percentage of the items that you're able to sell, which obviously benefits you and it benefits your client. So I think this is a huge bonus that's really a byproduct of having an online sale. So I'm personally pretty excited about that. Now, we selected the 17th and the 18th pickup days. So, so they actually took what I said and put it on here because I did make that note in one of my, they forgot the period. So I set the 17th and 18th. What we're able to do, let's say I'm going to start my pickup date at a.m. and let's say we're going to get crazy and do a group A at 11 a.m. and I'm going to take a lunch. So I'm going to take an hour lunch and I'm going to get back to it at 12 noon to, let's say, 3 o'clock. Make sure you change these to PMs and AMs. And let's say I'm going to take another break. I'm going to go crazy and I'm going to come back at 4 o'clock. And I'm going to leave for the day at 6 o'clock. Now what this essentially just did was create 3 separate groups for pickup. Group A, Group B, and Group C. Let's say on Sunday I'm just going to go in at 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm lazy. I don't want to create the other groups. All right. So what we have right now is 2-day pickup, 17th and 18th. 17th, I have 3 groups, Group A, Group B, Group C. What this can do is when you're emailing these buyers and say, hey, listen, you're Group A, between 8 and 11. Group B, Group C. Let's hit save and continue. Okay, here is the fun part. We're already at 15 minutes, so I'm really going to try to hustle through this. There's 2 ways to add items to this website and to your account. I'm going to briefly touch on the bulk feature. 95% of people will use this feature, the add individual lots. 5% of you who are a little bit more technical will use this. Now, what this is, a CSV file, is essentially an Excel extension that you can convert. So when you have the rows and columns, if you do it the right way, and you put the items and the descriptions and all of that other good stuff, you're able to, and the template's right here. Let's say you need the template to do that. You can save it. Let's say we're going to click here to, come on, upload it here. Boom. Now, the upload images, currently, and they're working on it, you have to upload the images as a zip file. If you have lot 1, and you have 3 images associated with that lot, and you name them, this is sort of annoying because you actually have to name every item, every image. Lot 1A, Lot 1B, Lot 1C. When you hit this button, Upload Items, it'll automatically populate Lot 1 and bring all those pictures into that lot. So you can technically do a 100 lot upload in minutes rather than hours. It really depends on where you want to put the work. Do you want to put those hours on the on-site end of documenting all of this on an Excel sheet, or do you want to put the time in by doing the individual lots? It's sort of a wash, but I prefer the bulk upload. Now, let's do add individual lots, because that's what I think a lot of people are interested in seeing how all of this will look. So we're going to upload photos, 1 megabyte in size, 600 by 600 pixels. When you upload a photo, just do it in basically the megabytes really don't matter in terms of quality, is only really determines on the quality of when you blow it up. So the images for our purpose for this site, you just put them on the lowest resolution because it's still going to be a perfect looking photo. So I actually went online and found just some little quick pieces of art that would match that. So let's actually say that these 2 paintings are the same. So I'm just going to do that. Boom, 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 boom. Super quick. Save images. Now again, let's just pretend these are the 2 same items. Now let's say I want this image to be the main photo. So I'm going to click this little star. Let's say I want to click it back. Title, fancy artwork. You see I already actually did a test sale today with fancy artwork. So this is a fancy piece of artwork. Now, as I said, since we're founding members, we are free for life. That free for life has translated into no monthly subscription, no cost to ListASale, no commission. However, there are upgrade packages available. This is one of them. You can feature the item, which puts it on the home page. Now, if this was a very expensive piece for $5 a day times 7 days or $35, I'm going to do it. If it's going to bring in several hundred, it's worth it to deduct the $35 to have it on that prime placement, as far as I'm concerned anyway. So here is the second select a client. What you can do here is, well, if you need to add a client here, you can do that. Let's say that you turn down a lot of little sales, but those sales combined would equal one big sale. You can essentially turn into a consignment auction by changing each individual item, or 10 items or 20 items, however many items you take from a sale, and you can associate it to that specific client. Now, each client could have a different commission rate. One's at 30%, one's at 25%, one's at 15%, whatever it is. And the reports, which I'm still working on in the back end, will then generate your total sale based on all of the items sold, associate those items with each specific client, and break down what you owe that client and what you are owed. This is one of the things, again, that I've caused a massive delay in all of this, but at the end of the day, if I have 4 or 5 clients and I'm doing a $30,000 sale with 5 different clients at, X amount per sale, I don't want to have to go through all of this and do it manually. So that's what this is going to do. So item can be shipped. Since we did select this item can be shipped on select items, I would ship a painting. So height in inches, let's just make it easy. 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches. When you do ship an item, either these 3 fields are mandatory, the height, the weight, and the length, or the height and the length and, what is this, the width? Okay, well, it's height, width, and length, 12 inches. Okay, or the pounds are required. Either these 3 or this one. Now, for bundled lots, let's say you're going to sell a bunch of towels or something. You're obviously not going to measure each towel. You're going to measure the size of the box that it goes into. Okay. Now, this works with a company called Ship Engine, which figures out the shipping, and that's going to be on the front end, and I'll show you that. So I'm going to offer shipping on that, so I will put this stuff in, and it is a piece of art, so I'm going to add art. Now let's add some more. One more, because we're already at 21 minutes. Sorry, guys. Let's upload another item. Let's do another piece of art. Save images. Done. Art. Art. I'm not going to feature this item just to show you the difference between where these two go. I'm not going to do the client. I'm not going to do the commission rate. This item cannot be shipped. Let's just say it's too heavy. And I'm going to select art, and now I'm going to be finished. And, when you don't get fancy, again, this shows you how fast you can really do this. Finished. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so it says I've uploaded 2 items. I can add more items, and it'll take me back to the section to add more items. Now, I have featured this. I have paid for the $5. Featured item, shipping, yes. And this is a much easier way if you want to go back and say, you know what, actually, I don't want to ship that. Now, this is actually a bug that I discovered a little while ago that we're fixing. So I did select no shipping on this, and it is showing as shipping, so I'm just going to click that for no, but that will be fixed by the time any of you actually use it. This shows 2 images associated with this, 1 image is associated with this. And we're going to save and continue. One of the things Matt pushed for, which I think is a great idea, it takes all of the photos that we just put in the items and lots and automatically populates a photo gallery just like you'd have on ESN or .net or .org. What you can do at this point is, because you're representing now your sale photos, you can click, and let's say you had a lot of lots, and so this had a lot of images. You can do a heart photo here, and that will, it's on a test server, so there's this sort of white screen delay. But yeah, so because we are doing a test server right now, and I think it's actually, they might have started a little bit early, but they were starting something at 3 o'clock, so I might have blocked myself out of showing you this. Let's see if this will work. Okay, they're working on the images right now, which is why it's not showing. So I'm going to actually hit pause and make sure they turn that off real quick just so I can show you. Hold on one second. All right, I'm back. I just fixed the first item just to get these 2 pictures. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this as a heart. Let's see if it works now. There we go. Now, this is only distorted because the image that I'm using is very tiny. So it's stretching it to fit this box. And let's also select, I have 3 other selections here, but we're not going to do this all the way. All right, let's select that heart. And that should now bring it up to the right column. There we go. And again, you have more items, more lots. There'll be more photos here that you can choose from. Now let's say I want to switch. It's very easy, drag and drop. Okay, boom, done. And this will be your main photo, and then you'll have 3 little other photos. And I just realized here, so we actually do have, I think Matt suggested this as well, a nice support feature for buyers and sellers as well. So save and continue. Email blast. So this is from the estate sale, what they send out, because I'm launching immediately and I already missed the 1:30 a.m. blast. I'm just going to set it for, the next 2 days. My private email I'm going to set out today because I think it goes out right away. Manage your email list. This button is actually going to be removed by the time you see it because it caused an issue earlier today on me, and I've suggested just to remove it. You can still manage your email list. It's just on your settings, not on this page. Real quick, it basically takes you out of the sale and causes a little bit of a headache. And that's not what I'm looking to do, and I don't want anyone else to get tricked by it. So save and continue. So here we go, options and publish. This is how your sale will appear. Here is the time I started to work on the sale. So while we're at 25 minutes, it really only worked on the sale for 14 minutes. 2 items in the sale. This is the company title. This is the town. This is the description. I did select pickup and shipping available. So this is what the buyers will see. Now, if you want to do a quick check to make sure everything is legit, so these are my right dates. I'm only showing the city and the state, picking up. So here's my group A, my group B, my group C, my group A. My terms and conditions, blah, blah, blah. Payment conditions, I chose credit card, cash, online payments. So all that looks good. Now let's say you want a little bit more in-depth of a preview of sale, which isn't really necessary, but if you want to see it, here it is. This is what it'll look larger with a sale date, end date of 3/14. This is what your lots will look like. Bid now. Obviously, this is just a preview, so I can't click on that. And this is what your photo gallery will be. And once this is launched, when you share your photo gallery link, which you can do, you can click on the image that you like, and it'll actually take you directly to that bid page. All right, let's go to options and publish. Actually, wrapping this up. Now, obviously, I've already put my credit card on file, so I have a credit card there. Now, with the checkout, items we love upgrade, $35. That is this guy, items we love, feature very best lots, $5 a day. I've only selected 1 item, so it's doing a total of $35. If I wanted to go back and either add more items or unselect this item, I just go back to lots, I erase it, it'll hit 0. This will be 0. And for all of us, that since we don't pay anything, we hit publish. Your sale is published live on the site for $0. For the sake of showing you some different examples, I'm going to show you an items we love upgrade at $35, and I'm going to show you the best one they offer is $50 a day, which is expensive, but it puts you right on the home page. Yes. So $350, if I'm doing a $10,000 sale or even a $5,000 sale, I'm still probably going to put a $350 thing to get it on the home page. Because when the site starts advertising, they're going to advertise the featured sales differently. They're going to advertise the items we love and all the, their internal metrics, which I, to be honest, don't really know. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. $350, so $350, so $35. So $385, obviously a lot of money, but if you're doing a sale that's worth it, it's really not that much money based on how much advertising it's going to be. Now, we're at 27 minutes. One of the other huge benefits that I like about this is that when I spend all my money locally to advertise this sale, I think there's 7 other companies in Long Island that have actually signed, not Long Island, New York State that have signed on. Now, when I spend all my money that I usually spend on advertising a sale, I'm going to be advertising my link to my sale. All of the other 7 companies in New York are going to be doing the same thing. Essentially, what we're doing is we magnified our own marketing by 7 times because the people that are buying from my sale, just like they would on site, will shop at the other sales and they'll spend those 2 days picking up items rather than potentially shopping for items. So we're really helping each other out. And that's what I personally really like. Anyway, items we love, $35. Featured sale upgrade, $350, total $385. I'm using a fake test card. I will publish. And let's see what this looks like. All right, we did it. So now we have an active sale. Here's my things. Remember, I'll have 2 other photos here. If I actually put the photos, I can see how many, real quick, I can see how many people have clicked on it, how many views, how many bids we have. There's going to be a link right here that takes me to my active sale. Embed these sales on your website. You're able to, or your developer will be able to copy and paste this code. And you'll be able to put your active and past sales directly on your website. The beauty about this is that when you do your Facebook posts or boosts, you're able to then market your site, not this site. That lets you build up your brand rather than a third-party brand. And it really lets you keep everything that you own and that you've paid for and worked for, which, again, another huge feature that I personally like. Then, of course, once they click on your page, they'll click on the link and they'll be brought to this page anyway. But you might as well get that traffic to your page first, build up your reputation, your brand, and your SEO. All right. Now let's say I want to select and check to see how my individual items are going. I can do that. Click on my items, fancy artwork, current bid 0, total amount of this selected. So what I can do is, let's say I want to go to my test sale for 3.7. These, of course, are my only two. Yeah, again, that delay is only because it's on a test server right now. So if I had 50 items and I filtered my items by test sale, it's going to show those 50 items and immediately calculate how much. So I can very quickly go and see how much I'm making per that sale at any given day over those 7 days. Let's just do, we're at 30 minutes. I did not want to be this long. I'm sure you're all sick of hearing my voice, but because I featured my sale on the home page, boom, there it is. It's right on the home page. Love it. And the items we love is right on the home page. Boom, love it. Now, let's say we, as a buyer, click on this. Here's our actual sale page. So this is just my terms and conditions. I did select pickup and shipping available. Our photo gallery, which this will take you to the photo gallery. And remember, you can use this link on all your marketing, and when they click on the item, it will take you to the bid page for that item. So let's click on that, and here we go. Now, this item, I used a very small item. Otherwise, this whole section will be filled in with your item. I did select 2 items, or 2 images for there. That's good. Other items I might like. This doesn't necessarily only come from your sale. It's based on the category. So because both of these pieces of art that I listed were art, it's going to show me those other things. But this could be art from any other sale in New York, any other sale in the country. And then, once again, you're using other people's marketing to drive traffic to you. And the second that person then bids on your item, they become your bidder. And you capture their information. You capture your email list, which will help you build your company up. Now, this, it's a little crushed right here. I don't like this. But I think so because I selected shipping on this, I can put in, let's see if I'm going to ship it to the city. I can get my quote as a buyer. And they're going to, the API is working on knocking some of these out. But this is what all of these different rates would apply for that shipping based on the 12 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches. And that's really it. Now, if I was a buyer, I don't know if I can do it. No, I'm not even going to get into that. Okay, so if I was a buyer not associated with this item, a big pink button that says bid here, and it'll bid, and it'll be all good. But because I can't bid on my own item, it's not there. But that is really the nuts and bolts of what everyone is sort of asking me for and what the site's all about. It's a completely different front end than anything else that is being pushed out there right now from .net or .org. It's a site solely dedicated to auctions. They're not trying to take money from you. There's no other misdirects for the clients. This is super, super streamlined and different, really, to be honest. I've tried 5 or 6 different auction platforms before I started to help with these guys, a year and a half ago. And this is by far the nicest front-end design out there. And that's what really converts the buyers to, potential buyers to bidders to winners, to cash in your pocket. So that's what I really like. Anyway, I'm going to post this link right now on the secret founding group page that I am now an admin of, and take a watch. Shoot me any questions, any comments under there, and I'll answer them. And if there's anything else, I'll do another video, or we'll take it from there. But we are very close to launching. I have a couple things to work out on those reports. I think Matt is going to do 1 or 2 other little things in his test. We're going to get another couple of beta testers out there to do another walkthrough of it. And we are almost finished, guys. But I promise you, totally worth the wait. 33 minutes. That's my time. Thanks.